Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. Happy Thursday. I'm Ben. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Halloween themed hijinksy stuff that we're doing tonight. Thanks for being here. I'm going to adjust a light real quick. Sometimes I forget and I move stuff out of the way so I can get to where I need to go. So welcome. This is shortly before we got Kodiak in here too. Kodiak, welcome.
Right, the mute button. Howdy, howdy.
There you go. How's it going?
I'm alive. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. I'm got my costume on for Halloween, which for me will be Saturday because we're doing a Halloween party. Halloween is actually Thursday or Tuesday, and we'll be handing out candy. But this is my I am Ben Uff. Got the hair dyed and everything. So how are you doing?
Yeah, second verse same as the first. I'm alive. That's
Cool.
About all I can ask for at times.
Right on.
No, I'm doing well. Got parts of my costume that I'm still working on, so shan't have anything for viewership tonight. But
Okay, no problem. I know Vab said he's out. He had a previous engagement that Mrs. Vab reminded him of today, which I think is kind of funny.
It happens, and I saw the messages.
And then for those watching, Johnny will be by later. He's probably getting home right now and resting for a bit before popping on with us. So in that time, I have a set that I'm going to build. Ooh. I actually have a couple. We just power through these. If we run out of time, I got 2 Star Wars sets here we can do. This one was a grocery store purchase. I just kept looking at it. It was the last one on the shelf, and I was fine, I'll buy it.
Sure.
This one was a pre-order of all the sets that were coming out last August. This one was the only pre-order, which I found kind of hilarious because it wasn't even like the biggest set to come out that August. So it was just kind of weird that it was that one, you know.
Yeah.
Beverage tonight for me will be the Big Surge. It is a blue coconut sour with lactose and vanilla. I've had these before. They're delicious. It's like a creamsicle. They're very, very good. So we'll get to going with that.
Nice.
Yeah, I was a kid in the candy shop today at the grocery store because our store has a pretty good beer selection, and there was a brewery named Martin House, and I think it's out of like Garland, Texas or something like that. They're the ones who did the best made pickle beer. And since then, they've got a lot of just great. They had a lot of really good stuff today. One of them I picked up. It was called Shredder, and it was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and then Shredder's hand with the claws kind of in front of him. I was like, nice. Ooh. I don't know how they can swing getting that IP on their can, but I guess there it is. So, how's your day? How's your week? How's you been doing?
I've been doing pretty well. Was wrestling with camera projects for most of today. Lego projects wise, I have collected about 2,000 pieces for a roughly 5,000-ish piece build.
Wow.
So that has been weighing on my mind is perhaps the wrong way to put it, but
okay.
It's been a process.
Yeah, getting the pieces you need for big builds is always, especially if it's like repeated. Like I need, guessing 3,000 dark orange slopes or something. You're like, I don't know. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm just scanning. I forgot to scan the instructions for this, so I'm going to do that real quick since we're in no rush to do anything.
Sure.
And I thought I had another set that I could do that for. The insects. Do the insects. Like right before I started, just had the worst coughing fit. Like right before, it always happens.
So it goes.
And I do my warm-up exercises and I drink lots of water. And right as I hit go live, it goes, what? Right, like right now? You want to cough right now? Come on. This is one of those gray ones too. It's hard to see. Come on, pick it up. I don't need to improve focus. I need you to work. Some of these QR codes just do not work.
Gotta love it.
What?
Gotta love it.
Yep. Come on. Fine, I'll do it later. So yeah, tonight, this guy should work right away. Very dark. Yep. Okay. I don't know. I guess I can use the instructions for this. There's only a couple bags, so we should be able to get through it pretty quick. This coat is very warm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say for howdy Texas. As far as like my partner's work is going, is you're doing all like Barbie theme stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Beth is gonna do God. Beth is weird Barbie, so we got her the dress and she got a wig, and I'm gonna do the makeup for her.
Larie's gonna be weird Barbie.
Larie's gonna be weird Barbie. Awesome.
Huh?
My darling knife is sitting beside me, and we're chatting
okay.
about what costumes their coworkers are doing.
I'm gonna have to look at Weird Barbie's makeup because I don't think we need clown makeup or anything, but I think she's got some green in there. May have to brave Party City and go get something.
The wild wasteland that is Party City.
I don't want to have to go there, or
I
to
get
Spirit Halloween either. See what she looks like.
I have been loving that meme that's been floating around of like, sir, now that Order 66 has been executed, what do you want us to do with the Jedi Temple?
Oh, and he turns
Palpatine's
into...
like, yeah, just they rent it out to Spirit Halloween.
Yeah. Mar-a-Lago with Spirit Halloween sign in front of it.
That's a good one.
The Speaker of the House's desk at the front of the Congress got a Spirit Halloween sign on it.
Nice.
Hey, Beth. We need to go get you some pink and blue makeup. You have pink and blue? That's pink and blue? Oh. All right, cool. Then you're all set. All right. I need to make a belt buckle that says Ben on it because he's got that one that looks like Metallica letters. It says Ken, so I need to do that. That was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. A lot more than I thought I was going to.
Still haven't seen it, but looking forward to it.
Yeah, you do when you do. Have you seen, did you see the Oppenheimer pairing of that half?
Also, no.
Okay.
Part of the reason is I have a friend who, like, I don't want to call it that he's an audiophile, but he is.
Yeah.
could just call him a snob.
I could. None of these statements would be incorrect.
All the love in our hearts.
Truly, but he's built his own like basement theater and has put a lot of focus into audio and audio design and balancing and whatnot.
That'd be a good movie to go see that.
And that was the idea, was I was going to see if I could talk him into having us do a back-to-back Barbenheimer showing.
Nice.
In his basement theater.
Was the first movie he watched Jurassic Park? That always seems to be the case, where it's always Jurassic Park.
I don't know, but I will say he mainly like tests his equipment with the band Infected Mushroom.
Okay.
Just because of the sheer range they have in their music.
Got it.
Or so he claims. I'm half deaf. I can't hear half of the things that he's trying to like explain to me.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there like, the ambiance and the levels and all these other details, and I'm like,
speaking of people who are into sound effects, this is not a good segue at all, but here's Johnny.
Hey!
What's up, Johnny? Lord Johnny of the Sith.
Who is this Johnny you speak of? All right, this thing is way too hot.
I was going to say, it is a smidge immersion breaking to see you just like pulling the headphones up.
With your two good hands, your two good fleshy hands, Anakin.
Yeah.
This is Anakin in an alternate timeline where he doesn't lose his hands.
Yeah.
There you go.
How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm tired. We did a dance. Obviously, I was Vader, and this was at my wife's school, and it was just a whole lot of fun. We had 4 of us that were there. We had a stormtrooper, a scout trooper, and a bounty hunter that was a Jurassic Park bounty hunter. Like his painting scheme was Jurassic Park. He had like the JP on it and some different things. And it was funny because there were like a couple kids that were there that were dressed as T-Rexes. Oh, it was great.
We chased him around the thing.
Yeah, it was fun. So we had a lot of fun. I will not confirm nor deny whether Vader did any dancing.
I always like it when it's Vader and the stormtroopers at like Celebration, and Vader's always like grooving out kind of thing. And
well, let's put it this way: the DJ was awesome. Like he played a whole bunch of good things and stuff. He did the cha-cha was really good for all of the stormtroopers and myself. And then at the very end, like it was like the last couple songs or whatever. And then at the very end, it was hilarious because we weren't expecting this, but he played the Imperial March. So like, so we went walking around, and then that's what happened. And then we got this big, huge picture with all the kids and everything. It was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Neat.
Yeah. So
all good things.
Cool. Are we?
I can stop the breathing too.
Yeah, we can. We're actually live, right? I'm gonna go check YouTube real quick.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube. We're live.
Oh, okay.
Oh, all right.
Cool.
So
I just saw Missy's chat disappeared, and I was like, "Okay, what happened?"
Oh, interesting. Weird. Hold on a second. Yeah. So yes, the chest box actually does breathe normally, but I have to have a friend of mine fix it tomorrow. So the tube came out, but the lights do light up. They go in sequence. It's pretty cool.
That is nice.
Yeah,
it was working when you first got on here too.
What's that?
The breathing. We heard the breathing.
Oh, that's because I had my phone doing it. That I had to get around that because I discovered that today. I completely forgot that last year I had an issue where it started crackling and stuff. I was like, uh-oh. And then I completely forgot about it because I only do this like once a year normally. And
speaker connection or something.
Yeah, well, the wire coming from, so there's a circuit board in here that records onto a little chip, whatever you want. You could actually make it say hi or something like that, and that would just be annoying. And it automatically loops. So however long you hold it for, it loops, and then you're back to whatever. And so yeah, something happened. My friend had soldered it, probably about 6 years ago or something, and it just became loose. So yeah, such is life.
Yeah.
So we'll get it fixed tomorrow because I got another event Saturday with the same guy. So yeah.
Cool.
All right. What are you working on?
I'm doing the Spider Bot,
Oh, cool.
the Star Wars Spider Bot. I've sat on this for about 2 months, and I was like, this is a nice, simple thing to work on while we're chatting.
Yeah. How many pieces is it?
500. So might be able
this will
to
be
get through it
perfect.
tonight.
This will be perfect because I am going to do the Scout Trooper helmet, which I've been sitting on for a while.
Nice.
And
That's one of my favorites.
So let me actually. Well,
I am not a like a super fan of the helmets, but I have 4, and I have like the TIE Pilot, the Scout Trooper, Bosch, and a Stormtrooper. I'm like those are like classic kind of helmet ones.
here I'm adding my second camera. There you go. All right, and now we'll do.
Yeah, this coat may have to go here in a little bit because it is getting warm.
Well, I'm wearing the cape, so like the big cape and the shoulder armor, and this actually chokes a little bit. So if I look down, so I may have to, but that's okay. Made it
Started strong.
Yes, that's right. For all the millions of fans out there.
Right,
True.
exactly.
All right, let's see if I break everything by closing my laptop. Nope, everything's still working. No one's falling apart.
So, Johnny, I was really excited to get on stream tonight and say, haha, Pittsburgh Penguins suck. But after 2 periods, it's 3-0 Pittsburgh against the Avs, and I'm a little upset about that.
I would be too if it was my home team. So yeah, but since my team's winning, haha, they don't
exactly.
suck.
Yeah, Avs they do not look like a 5-0 team right now. They look like garbage.
That's funny that they're 5-0 and they're doing that. But you know what? That tends to happen. Like I've noticed that with whether it was the Steelers or whoever. Like it seems to be like whenever a team, like, it's not that they underestimate necessarily all the time. They're all professional teams, and I think sometimes they just don't play to the caliber that they've been. Or some of the wins maybe were, I don't know if they were easy or not for you guys, but it just, I don't know, sometimes they're just, I don't know, they just don't play to the same level.
Yeah. Well, Pittsburgh just looks great too. They look big, they look fast.
Well, thank you.
They do not look like a 1-4 team for sure.
Yeah.
It's just weird, man. Keep grabbing my mouse to flip the directions in the direction.
There we go. Bag 1. Oh, only 5 bags. We should be able to do this. Right, so let's put this over here.
I'm worried that the chat is a word.
I mean, I'm not seeing anyone chatting. I can send a test message if you like.
No, that's fine.
Oh, well,
Susan's on their test. There you go. Okay. That works. We're just such high caliber people that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people just, I don't know how you get the word out. You know what I mean? Like, though, when we had my stream on Tuesday, with, you know, when Butt Chop showed up and stuff, I was like, oh, we really need to start, collaborating more. There's Missy. Hello, Missy. Not only that, but like promoting each other more, you know?
Yeah.
Like all the people, especially the people that have like, you know, numbers for their stream. So the chest armor is difficult. Reaching up. There we go. All right. I'm gonna stick it out at least until I die, and then I'll take it off.
Yeah, that was just warm.
I was surprised we didn't sweat. Like I could like normally wearing the helmet, like I can't see anything after about like 5 minutes, but amazingly, like, yeah, I didn't fog up at all. I was pleasantly surprised.
That is kind of nice. My glasses fog up when I wear masks to the grocery store. I can't imagine yours was.
Yeah, I absolutely surprised that it worked and it went. So, yeah. So what is the awesome, amazing Kodiak whose hands I do not see?
I know.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
I know. The thing that I was physically going to work on, I ended up not having all of the equipment to physically be working on it.
All of the
equipment.
And
considering it's me wiring with like 30 gauge wire, doing it with the bare paws seemed tenuous.
A little excessive.
Just yeah, all good descriptors. But I also realized that Darth sent me some instruction, or like a set to do instructions for like 2 weeks ago, and I've been so busy between animation and work and just everything else that I haven't had the time to make any of that happen.
Despite the fact that a lot of that sounds like excuses, I'll give it to you.
Oh well.
I've never seen Garth's instructions, and I don't know what his process is for you, but I can only assume it's rigorous.
I mean, I think I'm more rigorous, like, with myself on it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Did you say rigorous or vigorous?
Rigorous. Like, I go through and I make sure that, like, all of the pieces that he's actually selected are available.
Oh, I can't imagine that's a problem.
Oh, my word.
I sort of have, because you have the hide function, you know, where you can make bricks invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, I will, like, go through and, like, you know, select a few pieces to be in a step, send them to that step, and then hide them. Because it's completely different when, like, you're building the mock, when you're the one putting everything together, and
you know where everything is. You
know where everything is, you know how it all attaches, but he sends me just the completed thing, and then I have to reverse engineer a set of instructions.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And on, like, right now I'm working on, like, an APC, like an armored personnel carrier, which is like a tank that just carries troops.
Because that's easy.
See, like, those ones are easy because I just start at the bottom. Like, that's simple.
Start at the bottom of the chassis.
Yeah, with something like an aircraft, it's not always that simple. Mostly because he will actually do a lot of work to do, like, I don't want to call it greebling necessarily, but he adds details to the bottom of the, like, build.
Yeah, and I appreciate that.
I do too, except for when I'm doing instructions.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And usually what it means is that I have to, like, hollow my way into the middle of the build and find, like, the biggest piece in there.
Yep.
And then go through the rigorous process of, you know, making the instructions, setting everything out. The fun that I get to have with it is, you know, a lot of Lego sets, especially back in the day, they would have, like, a little rendered, like, art of the set, like, in play. So I would often do, with these, I will do, like, a diorama of sorts, like, showing it in action, as it were.
Yeah.
And that's the part of the process that I really enjoy doing.
I wanted to do, and I think I've kind of missed the boat on it a little bit. I wanted to do more box art for all the microfighters. I think it would get a little repetitive, but I only did one and it was a lot of fun.
Sure.
Have you seen any of the AI generated sets that they're doing? Because I think you could utilize AI to do a lot of that for you.
Probably. That would be okay.
Yeah.
As a recovering artist, I'm not a fan of AI created art. However,
I understand.
If it's my render in front of just like a background, maybe that'd be okay. Like I could see myself being like, all right, this improves my workload kind of thing.
Right.
And if I provided the AI with like, all right, here's some images I want you to work with, just work with this set.
Right, yeah, and you can do. That's the great thing about it is you can make it do as much or as little as you want. It takes learning curve, obviously, but you can do it.
Sure.
And there is, I understand, the arguments of like, especially artists that are like, it's taking away from our work and stuff. It's like you still need skill to use the AI to make it do what you want. Like you can just tell it random words, it can give you a whole bunch of crap all the time. So it takes work.
There is I just saw a thing where you can start, there's a process for, because I know like DeviantArt has said they don't have anything against AI generated work or people using AI generated stuff, and everybody is up in arms because DeviantArt was always kind of the go-to for artists to like host their art and their photography and
right.
stuff like that. And the fact that they said this was kind of a big deal.
How could you betray us?
Yeah, it felt like that. And I was like, man, I haven't been on DeviantArt for a while because I haven't drawn anything. But
it's been
back in the day, it was either do I stay on Flickr? Do I go to DeviantArt? Do I host everything on Imgur? It's like, which do I use?
Oh, God, I can't tell you how long it's
Imgur.
been since I've thought about Imgur.
Yeah.
Imgur.
Well, the good thing about Imgur is you can kind of just post anything. It gets a lot better reactions than the other two. Flickr
Which
probably
is
had
interesting.
Flickr had a better community, but DeviantArt always had better tools, if that makes sense. Their upload process was garbage, but once it was uploaded, you had a lot more like social tools. So I always was kind of like, I need something that was, and Google was always just a dump repository kind of thing.
Yes.
You put them in there, and that was it. So I was reading this article about. Now there's a tool that someone has developed where you can poison the artwork. So you can create it and then run it through this process that basically tells each pixel in the work that's rendered that it's something else. So if somebody goes to search, let's say you draw a pumpkin and somebody searches for pumpkins, but you're there's a bunch of pixels in there that don't register as pumpkin, they register as a dog or something like that. So when somebody uses what they think is a pumpkin picture, it ends up and it only works if like a lot of people do it, and then it becomes like you're poisoning the well kind of thing. So they don't do it, they don't use it as much of a crutch as they could. They really have to work at it a little bit harder and either commission artists to provide the work for them or, get another. And I was just like, that is a great idea. I love it.
Is it bad that I like the idea of poisoning things?
No, I think it's great. I mean, you'd have to ask your wife about that in general, but
she doesn't need to know. What she doesn't know, well,
what she doesn't know will kill her, apparently.
She doesn't know this.
She's not in the room. Don't tell her.
That's correct. She's upstairs. Surprisingly, for this event, like she was like, it was like a couple days ago, and she was like, of course, last minute, it's like, wait a minute, I need to be something. Since you guys are like going to be all dressed up, I need to be something. And was like, well, I mean, you could be a Jedi. That would be very simple, just a standard, robe and stuff. So we of course don't have anything that's like brown robes or anything like that. So she went on Amazon, of course, and went looking and found like we're looking at a couple different ones, and it was like this one, it was like about $50. And it was like, there's no way that can be any good. It's gonna be cheap, whatever.
Yeah.
But we ordered it because, I mean, of course, on the picture it looked all right. And we're like, well, it'll get it here in a day. So
that's what's important.
There we go. Yeah, that's what the important part was. So we get it in, and she like tries it on and stuff, and she's like, this thing's actually really nice. And like, it was all the pieces that a Jedi robe typically has. Like it had like the tunic, the pants, the belt, and then thing that goes under the belt, and like the pauldron cover things, and then the actual like robe, the covering robe or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And they were actually decent quality. Like they were actual fabric. They weren't like these cheapy, put together, things that like you would never want to wear. It was
right. You wash it
pretty
once
good.
and it dissolves.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And it was like, huh. And then like we got, we were there getting ready and stuff, and she's like, I can't have this stuff because it's actually decent enough quality that's going to be too hot. So she only wore like the main part and stuff like that. But hey, it worked.
That's fun.
There you
At
go.
least you found something. That's cool.
Yeah. Like it's cheap, but it worked. That was the surprising part. Like
Yeah,
overall,
the dress
'cause,
that
like,
Go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say overall, like Jedi robes can be pretty expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're also kind of weirdly layered sometimes, depending on
Yes.
how well you want to look at it. Because there's like 3 layers minimum. Because you've got a tunic, but then there's like an underrobe, then a
Mhm.
belt, then an overrobe, then another belt.
Yep.
And then sometimes you've got something like not a what's the half waist thing? A katana or whatever it's called.
Oh, I know what you're talking. I can't think of
katana,
what the
but
name
it's-
is.
Yeah, it's something like that. So sometimes they'll have that. Then you've got like high boots and like baggy pants, and
Mhm.
sometimes and cloak if you want a cloak.
Yep.
So I mean, it can get pretty warm.
She was asking me the entire. She's like, these things are so flowy. Like why? I'm like, because they're Jedi and they have to move and they have to fight. So
Yeah.
you want the bagginess so that it doesn't get caught on anything. She's
Half
like,
of
I don't
them
like
live
it. Okay.
Half of them live in the desert too. You got to have nice, loose-fitting clothing.
Well, that's only because Tatooine is like the place they always go with, or Geonosis, and it's like, go to some other environments. All right, bag 1 is done, and we've got some awesome sunglasses there.
Cool. That's early. I forgot how early that was.
Yeah, I was too, because like like the Vader one, you start at the bottom and just work up. This one is like, here, let's start in the middle.
Yeah, let's start with the coolest part of this mask.
Yeah. So we did have a scout trooper there, a stormtrooper, and like I said, the Jurassic Park guy. So this one's for my buddy. I'll give a shout out to Josh Maruka. He's
If I were
he's our
to
scout
ever
trooper.
do a Star Wars 501st cosplay, I think it would have to be a Scout Trooper. They're my favorite. But also, I've heard their outfits are a little more forgiving and mobile.
You have the most flexibility in a scout trooper. You can sit in it. Like my Inferno, like Vader, I can actually sit, but it has to be in like one of these chairs that you can go back and like
Uh-huh.
I kind of
And then you can't see
sit like
because you
that.
can't look down in your mask. And
Well, actually, I can look down. That's the best way to look, is actually down through the vents, because they're not. Here, hold on.
Yeah. Okay.
Oof. My vents actually are not. I'm trying to figure which one to do. My vents actually are not covered.
oh, okay. Oh, so
So-
you can see through them if you need to.
Yes, because that is very important for steps.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Because you can't go like this. You can't like look like, because you're gonna miss them anyway. If
Yeah.
if you kind of bend over or whatever, and the suit doesn't let you anyway.
I would love to have a video of somebody falling in a Vader outfit and their voice thing is still working, and they're like, "Oh God,
Oh no!
my knee! Somebody help!"
The first part of it would be like, my eternal nemesis stares,
Yeah.
and then from there it would just get worse.
I see your first step.
I raise you another.
All right, chat
Nice.
people. What are your Halloween plans? What do you got going on this week, next
Yeah,
week?
what's going on, Missy? What you got going on? Whoever's in there.
You giving away candy? You going to parties? You dressing up? Are you refraining for religious reasons? Got a guy at work who is a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh yeah.
We sat him down one time, and he's very cool about it. He, because he works, he's a runner for the company, so he always has to work on like helping setting up tables and chairs for events. And a lot of those
Right.
events are a Christmas party or the Thanksgiving thing or something like that. And so one of them was a Halloween dress up barbecue thing going on, and he was there helping cleaning and everything. And so when it kind of calmed down a little bit, we're just sitting there chatting. And we talked to him about it. We're like, what's it like working during a day when everybody's like doing stuff that you don't celebrate? Does it feel
Right.
weird? Does it feel like you're being taken advantage of or something like that? He's like, no, this is just my life, And he was very cool and open about, we had a great talk about it. I still wouldn't, there's no way I would
See, I find it. Some people are cool about talking about that stuff and being like, yeah, no, it's no biggie. And then some people get really offended over it, and it's like, well, there's really no reason to get offended. You just choose not to celebrate it.
Literally just curious. It's not like we're sitting there going, why won't you put on a costume? You know, we're very like, hey, we have questions about, you know, your chosen thing.
Sure.
And he's like, yeah, I'd love to talk to you about it. And I'm like,
down.
sweet, I'd love to hand you this copy of my Quran.
So okay, so Missy, her sister, and her kids her sister's kids are coming over, and they'll trick or treat around the neighborhood. Well, that'll be fun. I do somewhat the same thing. So me, my wife go over to a friend of ours' house because our place does not. We don't get that many kids. We may be getting more now, but it's kind of been like a tradition. And I'm obviously dressed up like this, and and because it's like. This is my time of the year that I get to do this for the moment until I get 501st approved. But what I end up doing is I'm dressed up and her yard has like it's like a sidewalk, maybe about 20 feet that goes up to the porch. And what I do is I stand in the yard kind of off to the side, and my wife and my friends sit on the porch with the candy. And so the kids, you know, of course, they're coming up, and I got the breathing going, but I stand very still and like act like I'm either a statue or kind of an animatronic, because I'll turn on the lightsaber sometimes or and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then they come up on the walk, and it gets me every time, because like some of the kids have been here 4 or 5 times and know what I do. And so as they come up to get the candy, if I don't have the lightsaber on, I get behind them and turn it on. And just like get as close to them as I can, and like the shrieks. I mean, even the adults sometimes are just like, they're like, "That's a great statue," and then I turn and look at them and just like look at it and like, what? And they're like, "Wait, what? There's a person in there?"
That's got to be so much fun.
It is. It's a blast.
Have you thought of videoing it or having like a live stream of Vader scares kids?
I was thinking of having a live stream this next time somehow. I don't know how I would do it. But or at least videotaping it, and then, you know, keeping hold of it and posting it. Be like, hey, Vader does Halloween his style.
Nice.
Classic.
Skeleton and pirate costume from the last couple years. So if you do the skeleton costume, Missy, you're gonna get so many people saying, "Hey, you need to eat more."
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Oh, bulimia jokes.
And then if you do the pirate, all you're gonna hear is, you know, hey, what's a pirate's favorite letter?
And then everybody says R, and you say, yeah.
No, C.
No, 'tis the C that always pulls my heart.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my favorite joke. Because I'm a dad.
Classic.
See, when I was growing up, my dad had a mustache. So anytime he was going to throw that dad card out there, he would always be like, "I'm dad, I have the mustache." Then he shaved it off, and we're all like, "We can't call you dad anymore."
Well, so I was watching. Okay, so it's Fandom Entertainment, but it's the guys who do the trailers for video games and movies and stuff, and they make fun of them. But it's not Fandom. It's called it's not Screen Crush. It's something else. Screen Junkies. So and it's got the guy.
Oh, I know who they are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. These are gonna suck. Little tiny decals.
Oh, I don't have any decals on this one. This is pretty good. But yeah, he's always the guy who's like, "It's 20 minutes in and boobs," you know, something like that. And so Robert Kirkman was on, and he was reacting to them lampooning Invincible, and he was taking most of it in stride, but a lot of it he was like, "No, I don't think that's a fair assessment." And it was kind of like, really? And like, I know him.
This
from,
is a spoof show.
Yeah, I know him from kind of far back in like the Wizard World days and stuff. Right. And I'm like, yeah, this is very Kirkman how he's reacting, kind of thing.
He's one of those people that thinks his stuff is like, yeah, you shouldn't be able to do
Yeah.
that. You shouldn't
I
touch
mean,
it.
he appreciated some of it, but some of it you could tell he wasn't really happy about.
Right.
I was going somewhere with this. Now I can't remember what it was.
The world may never know.
Yeah.
like the Tootsie Pop, center of a Tootsie Pop. The world may never know.
Something to do with the costumes and pirates and so he was talking about, have you guys seen Invincible at all? Or
Pardon
Bless
me.
you.
Hi,
Nope.
Dusty Bricks. How you doing?
Howdy, Dusty.
How are you
Darth
going?
Vader says hello.
Oh, no wonder I sneezed. Dusty showed up.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Kodiak's allergic to Australians, so
So it goes.
So don't say good mate.
yeah. Well, you say how you going? So he was talking about Omni-Man, who is the main character's dad. And
That was one heck of a sneeze.
I love. Have you seen that cartoon? That little snippet where it's this little cartoon and it's all these women sneezing and they just go hop chew, hop chew.
Oh yeah.
And the old man sitting on the couch goes, and the whole side of the house explodes off.
Yeah.
I laugh every time.
Yeah, that one's great.
So so he's talking about why Omni-Man has a mustache. He's like, because when Ryan Otley and I forget the other guy's name, the other guy who drew Ryan Otley drew it. I forget who else wrote it. 3 of the guys that he's friends with, he's like, when we were growing up, all our dads had mustaches, and we just assumed that in order to be a dad, you had a mustache. So all my dad characters have mustaches. You know,
That's awesome.
it's pretty funny.
See,
Plus, I
and
think
that's
anybody voiced by J.K. Simmons needs a mustache. He just has to.
no, I can see that. I can see that. But yeah, that's kind of how it was for me growing up. It was like, oh, I'm the dad.
Yep.
I have the mustache. And then it was like, not anymore. And now we all have the mustaches and me.
Right. I shaved this the other day, and everybody's like, nope, don't like it. You look like you're 12, and I don't know who you are. I was thinking of shaving it for the costume, but I think I might just trim it down.
And then we do the back. That's funny. It's like, here, do the front, and like, hey, sunglasses and stuff. Now do a butt in the back.
Right.
It's like going
Do
all
the
over
weird
the
little
place.
canister.
Yeah. So what are you up to today, Dusty?
Oh, here's a question for our friends from Down Under. Do you guys have a Halloween type?
Oh, there
holiday?
you go.
I know generally across the planet, if there's not like a specific analog for a given religious holiday, at least there's like it's the middle of the winter holiday or the middle of the summer holiday or the spring
Right.
equinox, fall equinox kind of versions of the holiday. Day of the Dead, Halloween, All Saints Day, that kind of thing around this time of year when it starts getting dark and there's a harvest and that kind of stuff. So
Like,
you guys do
harvest
something-
festivals and things.
and it's not getting darker for y'all. It's getting lighter. So
Right.
it's spring. So there would be like a spring holiday right now. So
See, that's
this time of
the
year
weird
in
thing to think
March-
about.
Yeah, this time of year in March, what do you guys do for like? It's getting darker and we're harvesting everything, and it's spooky out.
That's right. We have to go opposite.
Yeah.
Or do they follow it and be like, well, the rest of the world's doing it. We'll just kind of follow suit, and then
It's weird. Everything's blooming and it looks pretty out, but I guess we'll put
Yeah.
out jack-o'-lanterns and wear masks.
Why not?
I hope Dusty's coming up with a really long answer.
I
We're
hope
gonna be
he's
like,
typing
wow, that's
forever.
great. Or he's gonna be like, nope.
Yeah, no. It's Easter. Yeah, that's what I thought. Something like that. It's Easter.
See, which is funny to say because it does. I mean, I could believe that.
Oh, here we go. Okay, that works.
I love what the helmets and a lot of the other stuff that Lego has done as far as like detailing. When they do things like this, I really appreciate like the angles and how they put them together to be like, hey, let's make them smooth together and like go well.
Yeah.
It's,
And it's times like that you look at that and go, you can't do this with everything that you build because some of your
Exactly.
things are junky, but you're able to do it.
right.
we can see that you can do it. Oh, so I'm on Blue Sky chatting with some Lego people, and
Blue Sky.
somebody posted about the JWST set getting pretty close to 10,000 votes, which is very exciting because then if we get it, we can put it with all the IAS, shuttle, Saturn V, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And there's another satellite that I want to get, the Atlas satellite or something. The guy didn't make it off of ideas, so he put it up for free.
Oh, that's cool.
You can do that after you can sell it after 3 years. You can put it up for free, I think, anytime. But
It's
Lego
so ridiculous, though.
Yeah, Lego has the right to it for a while.
See, that's why I would never put anything on Bricklink, because it's like...
Yeah, I don't have anything on Bricklink because of that. But so they were talking about the JWST thing, and again, going somewhere with the story, and I completely forgot.
Kodiak, he's
pretty
getting
close.
old right before our eyes.
Happy.
You don't have the start of spring holiday. Halloween is just today. It's a Tuesday. There
Yeah,
you
but
go.
do you guys? So you guys don't get dressed up then, is what I'm hearing.
Do you not have because I don't think everybody does Halloween, but like the Scandinavian countries, they may have like sometime around this time of year people go door to door and leave chocolate in people's shoes or something like that.
See, that sounds like something they would do.
Well, I think that's St. Nicholas Day. I'm not entirely making that up, but
No, you're right. They do weird things like that because there's reasons for it. I know, but still, it just sounds so weird.
there's a giant flying bell. Why was I talking about JWST? I don't know.
Because the guy made it for free, and
Well, no, so it's close to 10,000 votes, which means it's going to get made. Oh, that's
Oh,
what
cool.
I was going to say. Well, it gets 10,000 votes, which means it gets moved on to the judging, and the judging picks it. And then if it gets picked, then the designers take it over. And what'll happen is we get this great design, and it's really cool, and then Lego gets a hold of it and turns it into this dippy little, they completely neuter it for parts, accessibility, cost, availability of color reasons kind of thing.
Yeah.
I have to say, Ben, you don't sound bitter at all.
Well, I've never had anything like not make it into ideas to where I am, but I just see all these designs like the A-frame house, the insects. They were all like really cool designs, and then Lego gets a hold of them, and you're like, "This is what came out of that design. That's not even close."
Right. I agree there, especially with the insects.
Now, I will say with the insects themselves look good. The problem that I have with the insects is that the insects are 60 to 70% stand.
Yes.
They're like mostly stand and twig and flower, and then like 30-40% actual insect. And I'm like, we could have got 2 more insects for we didn't need these stands. You could have given us 2 more insects.
See, that's what I really don't understand about whenever Lego grabs these ideas things, because it just like you said, it's like you got less insects and less insect overall, and it's like, well, okay. I mean, they do look cool, but like we dress up, we try to copy you guys, but it doesn't mask sense here. Are you doing a play on words here?
It doesn't mask sense here. They tried to do that with guns too, and then they're like, "Oh crap! This causes mass shootings, so we're going to do away with our guns."
There's a little more nuance than that.
I know. There's a lot to that one, but
for the sake of comedy, we'll let it slide.
Yep. All right, our friends that live down the street from us are from Maine. Speaking of.
Oh yeah.
And I had to ask them, I'm like, do you have any friends or family still there? And they're like, no, that wasn't really close to us. I mean, there's like 3 cities in Maine, so.
Right. Well, 3 major ones. Yeah. Lewiston, Maine, though, is a place
Lewiston,
we
and
went.
Bangalore.
We went around there decently often.
Not to mention the other Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other is that like the other white meat? The other Portland.
Dude,
The other
can you imagine a Portlandia renewal season, but it's in Portland, Maine?
But it's in Portland, Maine.
I
would be a little-
watch the crap out of that.
That would be a little different, that's for sure.
Oh, 100%.
As a bear who knows nothing about Portlandia, I can only imagine. But
Mhm.
I do want to see it.
Yeah, we tried watching it, and we live in Austin, and so we watched the first episode, and we're like, "This is exactly like living here." I don't understand the draw to this show. Like the
maybe
first
that's
episode,
maybe that's it.
yeah. Well, they're like very similar cities. The first episode was like this couple goes to a restaurant and they want to get. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but they want to get a they order some chicken or some fish or something. I think it was a chicken, and they're like, "Now is it locally sourced?" And they're like, "Yes, we get it from this farm that blah 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 blah." Right? And
Right.
it's
All the good
it
stuff.
just keeps going and going to where they get all this information about the chicken. The guy keeps talking to him about it. Eventually, he offers them a tour of the farm where the chicken.
Oh
grew up.
no!
So they go to the farm, and the farm ends up being a cult. So they end up joining this cult, and the wife ends up like leaving the husband to get with the cult leader, and like all this stuff happens. And then they end up back at the table. They're like, "I think we'll try the fish instead." One of those things, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so then there's like the all women bookstore, and Fred Armiston is one of the women, and one of the other ladies is the other one, and they're very much like crystals and smudging and very holistic kind of stuff. And I don't think you should buy that book. I don't think that's the energy you need for that book, kind of thing. And we're watching it going, none of this is funny. This is like what we did last week. Like this is exactly what we do in Austin. So
Sure.
Which is funny because I find it funny you telling it.
okay, yeah, you should watch it. You might get a kick out of it.
No, I think it's just you telling it is funny. Not necessarily. I probably, because I tend to be that kind of a sense of humor person, and so like I would be like, oh yeah, this isn't that funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some shows it does take a little while to get into. Also, just depends.
The 3 main cities. That's right, Dusty.
Yes.
Wow, this bag 3 is not much.
Yeah, my bag 3 was or bag 2 was nothing. I went right into bag 3. But bag 3 is a lot. So it's Easter. What do y'all do for Easter? I know in reading oh, now I'm going to forget his name too. All right.
Man, your brain is just sucky tonight.
I've had a long day of work and it's fried.
I know the feeling.
The lady who plays in The Mandalorian, the mechanic on Tatooine.
Oh gosh, she's annoying.
Oh no, she's amazing. I love her. She's so annoying. It's amazing. Hey, Beth, who is the lady? Who is the lady from Unbelievable Kimmy Schmidt? Who is Portia's business partner? But she's always like trying to be involved, and she never is. She's a famous comedian actor, and she has a famous brother who's a writer, Amy Sedaris.
Ah, okay.
What? What? Did I leave the hockey game on? No.
Uh-oh, you're in trouble.
No, I've got my phone in here.
Well, why didn't you leave the hockey game on?
Do I have
Any threes? Go
it
fish.
shouldn't be on my computer or anything. Really? All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go check on something.
Okay. So Kodiak, how's your
Howdy.
building going, or whatever? Are you sorting, building? What are you doing?
So yeah, doing the instructions.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Currently
Yeah.
on page 9. But thankfully, this is I've done all the hard work to make the actual like paper instruction part easier.
Right. Well, that's good.
Previously, I would set all of the stages for the instructions, and then as I was going through the instructions, that's sort of when I'd be like, "Oh, that piece is floating. That's not good." So then I would go like manually have to find which step it was, and it was arduous, but obviously like a necessary part.
Right. Yeah.
Part
Necessary
of the endeavor.
evil.
until I realized that whole hiding function that I mentioned earlier, it turns out there aren't any rules about you just doing it in reverse. So you hide everything, then unhide step 1, unhide step 2, unhide step 3.
Can you do that?
Yeah, apparently no SWAT team breaks in through your door if you don't do that.
So many steps that, because you've seen my process where I'll like, I start with everything at the end and then I kind of like break it off into the first steps.
Yeah.
I'm constantly like hiding it in layers. But the problem is I'm like having to like hit like a number key so it does like that full on view so I can like select the layer above that plate or whatever. And I'm constantly like hiding and man, if I could just hide steps, that would be awesome.
Right. No, and like I said, as far as I could tell, like it's not illegal. There haven't been any real issues. We just uh-oh.
Where'd that come from?
My soundboard.
Oh God. I was like
who has that? Who's got, because that's not a fake thing. That does happen.
yeah. And I'm like, look, I know we don't know each other that well, but do we need to talk? Do we, do you need a place to stay?
Yeah, I was gonna say we wouldn't be talking much. It'd be like, you need to get here now.
Yeah. I know it's a drive to get from there to here. It's like 3 states in between, but also mystery solved. Beth is like, am I hearing things? I'm like, what? No. She's like, are you trying to watch this to get more views? I'm like, no, I only did that on Twitch. But
she getting all irritated at you, Ben.
I set up the stream on my work computer because I came in here to do the image for it because my work computer doesn't really, my little laptop doesn't like GIMP all that much. It slows down a lot. So when I'm trying to make something, I'll come in here and do it. But then I went in the other room and set up the stream, and that was like the last thing I did. So it was just sitting on the stream, and then I left for the day, and it's just sitting there on my computer. So when the stream started up, it just started, and she's like, "Where's that noise coming from?"
And so it goes.
It's getting close to Halloween. It is the ghost coming to live.
Somebody is just sitting on the soundboard over there.
The mess ups are the best. Like,
Oh,
nope.
Well, and again, some of them I have programmed to like go off based on me saying things for the purposes of unintended comedy.
Yeah.
Right, which is awesome because I want to learn how to do that.
It is a migraine-inducing process. I will not.
Oh, I guarantee. I am so sure it is, but doesn't mean I don't want to do it. I don't mind subjecting myself to those kind of things sometimes.
Well, and like getting the soundboard to like play the sounds and do the thing, like that's not the tricky part. That part was super easy. Getting it to play those sounds from the program into my microphone, that's the nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see.
Like I had that same issue with just trying to get like music to play separately on a different channel on OBS. It was like, no, I don't understand what you want me to do. Like, so there is.
I had no problem.
That's why I just played on speakers and let my mic pick it up.
Really?
Yeah. So if I try to play a different, there's a way you can play a music and have it be an input into OBS that only the audience hears and you don't hear it. So like I could sit here and listen to my own music on headphones and like do whatever, but then there'd be music and I could not figure it out. Like it required a whole different like wiring thing and a different codec, and I'm just like, this is dumb. I could not figure it out.
I just made a separate thingy and said, hey, this is a separate audio, and there you go. Now I do like hearing my music, but like I have it at a certain level, so it's like it's kind of in the background just like it would be for everybody else. So it's kind of like there it is, but I like hearing that it's playing, so I know that it is, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing that wasn't working, but it was not working, so I'm just like, speakers it is.
Interesting. I may have to, because that's exactly what I have set up on my stream. I turn it off for a lot of the games that I play just because I want.
Like, well, that makes sense. You want to hear the game audio.
Atmosphere.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if I'm designing something, I have music that plays that only chat can hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to look.
oh.
Here. I think I added.
No, you know what?
It's-
Now, Streamlabs and OBS might be a little bit different this way, but I do think they have most of the same controls. They're just sometimes in a different spot. But all you do is you make it so like you don't have it going like you can set it so you're not monitoring it, and then it just goes out to them. It doesn't come to you. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. I was also trying to do stuff with like Bluetooth headphones and a mic and everything.
Oh.
I can't.
Yeah, that can make it a bit tricky. So
That's a whole different ballgame.
The way I was able to do it, you have to download and install VLC, which is like the image other thing.
That's the crappy media player that plays everything.
What? VLC's awesome. I love it.
No, it is because it plays everything.
Yeah, no, and it sucks, make no mistake. But once you have it installed, in like your groups, and like you can add images or media sources,
right.
Different displays, whatnot. VLC will come up as its own source.
Right.
And then I just tell it to loop from a folder, and I've put all of the music in that folder.
Yep,
Nice.
That's exactly what I did. Yep. And it works beautifully. So if you need tutorial help with that, just let Kodiak or myself know. That's what I did. And it just plays from that folder.
Yeah. Now what I need is Vab to teach me how he got it so that like his screen share on his OBS and his audio come in here to restream. Because I've noticed, Ben, you've had to like add my second screens anytime.
Uh-huh.
You do it directly from OBS. OBS it should pick up OBS as a camera essentially.
Yeah, you can do add a source, and let me see if I can do this real quick.
Testing.
Howdy, Journal Scots.
Journal
Journal.
Scott, what's up?
How you do?
Audio is a nightmare. I know I joked earlier about me being half deaf, but genuinely, I do try to prioritize good audio, and God, it's tricky sometimes.
Yes, I agree. It certainly is.
From here, I can do, like, if I was adding it, like, I can add a source, and you guys can't see the screen really.
Happy Halloween.
But there's an RTMP source. I can just give it. You can bring in a stream from. It says from tools like Zoom. So anything that broadcasts, as long as you have that key, you can give it to this, and it'll pull in from there. And it's just like YouTube, where like if I have this set up in OBS and I send it to YouTube, YouTube just goes. It's the same thing with this. Yeah. As long as it can pick up that stream, that RTMP stream key.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Scott? How is your getting ready for Halloween? Are you doing anything special? You gonna do trick or treating with the kids or anything?
And these are so far from hijinks, but we'll accept them.
Yeah, they're not really hijinks. They're more like low jinks.
Speak for yourself. I'm up to hijinks.
Helmet jinx.
At the very least, elevated position jinx.
Whoa.
Elevated shenanigans.
Okay. Is that what we'll call it? Okay.
Here we go.
That actually fits really nicely.
It's over, Anakin. I have the hijinks.
Followed by the yakety stacks.
I need a cutting of Duel of the Fates, but it's with yakety stacks.
Oh yeah, there you go. Wow, I'm on bag 5 already. This is it, last bag.
One of the funniest things I've seen in a while is a mashup of a supercut of Doctor Who stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's mostly it's like old Doctor Who up to like maybe Eccleston and or Tennant. I think there's Tennant in there too. It's all the times they're running around and jumping and looking kind of silly. But it's also set to Yakety Sax, but with Slim Shady.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen, and I watch it at least once every couple months.
It's memorable.
It's There's that and the mashup that has Transformers the movie, the 1986 animated one, supercut with the audio from the Lord of the Rings trailer.
Oh yeah.
It's the best thing I've ever seen. It is so good. The problem is it's very, very old. It's like proto-internet old.
Oh yeah.
So the quality looks like it was made from a potato. It's just so bad.
Well,
I mean, potatoes have value.
They do.
they are delicious.
I gave my there's a guy in my lug. I was like, hey, you set up the Christmas party. Can you like put an email out about it? People are asking about it. And he's like, is it? And there's a guy named Frankie who's in our group, and he just texted me and asked me about it. And then I said, you should ask Will. He's setting it up. So I said, hey, while you're at it, can you just put an email out to the whole group so they all know what's going on? He's like, and by people, do you just mean Frankie? And I went, Frankie's people too.
Frankie's people too.
No,
Frankie's
we don't
people.
talk about Frankie.
Oh, Frankie.
Just like we don't talk about Bruno. Here to test the candy in order. See, that is the way to be. That is
It's
how
an
to.
important job. It
is absolutely.
How will you know that none of the candy is poisoned if you don't try it all?
And how will you know that you've ordered the best pizza?
Really?
You won't until you try it.
There's a meme on my music. There's a music group I'm on Facebook. It's a bunch of aging prog rock loving Canadians that aren't Rush. It's these people.
Distinction there.
That's important.
Artist, writer, comic book friend he's this Jewish lawyer who lives in Toronto, but has wanted to be an artist and get into comic books ever since I've known him. He's the funniest dude, but he's funny like an old uncle is funny, talking about like just farts and stuff like that. Where everything's hilarious, right?
I prefer belches, but that works.
So he started this group called Amazing Artists and the People Who Love Them. And he always does projects with it, like we're going to have a desert island draft where you pick 10 albums that you really like. And he always wants people to like review music that they normally wouldn't listen to. And it's like, it's very engaging. It's very, very good community.
Okay. I can dig it.
So the meme that he posted today was check your children's candy for poison. And it was a cross section of a Reese's peanut butter cup with the band Poison in it.
Oh gosh, yes.
It's so much fun.
That's great. Missy wants to know, when is the holiday party?
I sent out an email
heard
about it
yet.
today. It is December 9th. Let me pull up my email. December 9th from 12 to 4 p.m. Which isn't a lot, but it's at a library, and that's the most we could get, I think.
Yeah.
See, I can't go. That's my wife's birthday.
That's also like, I'm a little upset because we had this guy who was like, we usually have it. Hi, Greg, how are you? We had for the last few years, Steve Jackson of Steve Jackson Games.
Oh, yeah.
Is in our group, and he's hosted the holiday parties for a while. Yeah, it's December 9th from 12 to 4 p.m., Missy. And he's got Steve Jackson money, which means his house is very nice and big and has a lot of room for 40, 50 people. And he always invites our lug, the Houston lug, TBRR, which is the train guys, the Lego train guys. And sometimes like friends that aren't into Lego and stuff like that. And it's always a big group, and we always do a draft, and we do Dirty Brickster, and we do all this stuff. Well, this year, he's unable to do it because of health reasons, stuff like that. And we're like, we get it. You've been giving us really good couple of years, so that's fine. So we had to figure out pasture. We have to figure out where else to do this party. And one of the other guys is like, we'll have it at my house. I'm like, that sounds great. And he's part of the railroad group too. So we're like, all right, cool. So he's like, we'll do just the railroad group and the Austin group. I'm like, that sounds great. And so we're all getting ready to announce it, and everything is like, on second thought, I don't think we can handle all of it. And then immediately announced to the railroad group that they were having a party. And I'm like, oh, you really? That stinks. So now we have to figure out our own thing. So we did, and it's fine, whatever. But it happened to be on the same day as theirs, and so now everybody's like, "Well, which one do I go to?" I'm like, "Well, which group are you in? It doesn't matter. Just pick one."
Right. Just go.
Oh, so Greg, I pre-ordered the Ornithopter from Target.
Cheaper.
I also I had a $10 gift card, and I used my Target Red card, which
Cheaper.
got me an additional 5% off. So I spent like $145 on it. Which is fine. I have to do these twice. I won't. I mean, it says it's going to ship anytime between January 25th and February 7th or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
All pre-orders do that. So, and I don't care. And I can still take the receipt and get some points for it.
Nope, that's too close.
From Target. I'm excited.
Target.
That thing looks like a monster, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, it does look pretty awesome.
You've seen Community, right?
Yeah.
I have a good friend of mine who is a huge fan of Dune, not really into Lego. But I was teasing him because I sent him the Ornithopter, and he just replied with, "This better not awaken anything in me."
You know
now,
what?
Jeffrey, this better not awaken anything in me. I rewatched the clip of Dean he comes in as the Peanut and he's doing the rap, and he ends up going full DMX. Let me clear my throat. And then he drops the mic and goes, "I don't know what happened. I don't know where that came from." That's the funniest fucking thing ever. And then when when Winger's got the aviator shades, and he turns around and sees him, and he just crumples to the floor and like spasms. Even his shadow. Look at his shadow. Dean is the best part of that show.
Yeah, there are a few people, like even like my my boss at work. He knows I love Lego and such, and he's like you spend way too much money on it. And then I showed him that, and he was kind of like, well, I might be spending too much money on this because I have to admit, like they haven't done it a lot lately, but they are starting to again, where they're starting to do that broader appeal type thing, I think. Mm-hmm. And it's starting to be other pop culture-ish type things, which is smart on their part, obviously. Yep. In a few ways, but like just that whole idea where it's just like people look at that and they're like, wait, huh? Mm-hmm. Wait, I thought they just did Star Wars, or they just did this, and all of a sudden it's like, well, wait, now, oh.
Yeah. Well, I think the music bits were a big one for that. The art bits were big for that. Having as much as none of us wanted to get the BTS set, that was a huge thing. To get K-pop
Hang on, there was a BTS set?
Yeah. Is it out yet? Was it out? It was called Dynamite. It was called something BTS Dynamite. It was based off their song Dynamite.
Oh,
yeah. A record store or something like that.
I don't know how well that did, but I do recall it being out.
Yeah, I don't know that it did well at all, and I'm trying to think why it didn't do so well, knowing that the lady who does my hair is a huge K-pop person, and I know they will buy anything that band puts out, just anything.
Right.
It could be a plush. It could be tickets to a movie that they did that's not even really a movie. It could be clothing. It could be anything. They'll buy it. So if it did not do well, that is kind of shocking.
Yeah, the BTS was out. I remember that.
Yeah, I'm looking at this thing, and at a glance, I can't tell that it's
BTS. Yeah.
No, there's nothing that says it's BTS, and there's nothing that says it's even very good Lego set. It's like
that donut is scuffed as hell, though.
It's not. It's,
the hell is
like
that?
It's like if you took the Seinfeld or Office set and made it even more boring. Like especially the Office set. The Office set's got a lot of Easter eggs and stuff in it for viewers of the show. This just looks like a box with like
right.
here's the BTS singers. It's like, that's dumb.
Hey kids, here's the most like basic basketball hoop and some traffic cones.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Never said it was a good set. Just said it was a set.
Just that it exists.
It exists, yeah.
But because of that, that's another thing. So like the Tall Neck did that, where they kind of reached out to people who normally wouldn't be doing Lego to try to get them involved.
I mean, some of them are not going to be, worthwhile efforts necessarily, and sadly, that could sour people more towards Lego than just like, hey, you tried to do a set, that's pretty cool. Oh, you made it suck. That's worse.
Sure.
But kudos to them for trying. Not everything works, but at the same time, it's like, it's so funny how. And it's been more recently, I think, but Lego has been so hit or miss with certain things, and it's like, man, you would think that, they're, but I don't know what it is, whether they're quality assurance, someone somewhere is like, hey, this is going to be a good thing, here we go, and then it's like, that's your best effort,
or they're just not researching it, they just don't know,
right? Yeah,
it's out there, and
the term phoning it in comes to mind.
Yeah,
kinda.
I think a good example would be is that the right direction?
I have no idea.
a good example would be the World Cup women's team soccer set. That could have been like a really good set, but they give it half a field. They give them now there were 3 players that weren't part of the U.S. national team. It was just soccer for all kind of thing.
Right.
They could have done, and this is hard for them to do based off like regionalness and stuff like that. But have the same set, but have different figures for that region. Like if you're gonna sell in the Americas, have the North American set or the Mexican set. Or something where you're having the players from those teams represented instead of like 4 players. You get 1 U.S. person, 1 Australian person, 1 Japanese person, 1 Brazilian person. Great, I guess, but I mean, like nobody knows who those other 3 people are, so they're going to get the set for Megan Rapinoe because that's the only one they know. Maybe Sam Kerr, if you're a fan, but also half a field, the stands where everybody kind of does the wave on the stands. That was clever, but I mean, it's all these little bits that kind of stand
wasn't
by
enough
themselves and don't really. I don't know. Is kind of. I'm a soccer fan and I didn't like it. I'm just like, this is not.
Well, no, they gave you half a field so you could buy 2 and have a full team and put it together because people wanted to buy 2.
It's like getting 2 of the pyramids. It's like, what if I wanted to build a full pyramid?
Right. Well, that one I found funny because they're like, hey, look, you can put the pyramid together. And it's like, and then you have a pyramid as opposed to what's inside the pyramid, which is what people really want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
That one I thought was funny. I mean, like, it's kind of a neat set, but at the same time, it was just kind of like, eh.
Did you get that one?
I did not. No.
So you could take the white stone part off.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you could kind of see like what was inside it and everything.
Right.
It kind of gave an idea of like how it was built. So that was kind of cool. But at first glance, you're like, I don't necessarily want half a pyramid.
Right.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I agree. Hit or misses.
Yep. And it seems to have been a lot more lately as far as that goes. Who knows what? And actually, from what I've heard from people is, people seem to be like getting like missing parts, sometimes even missing entire bags and stuff more often and things like that. I haven't had that yet, but like it seems like that's something like I have not heard about Lego in like this is something that's like become an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And
or maybe they're pushing too hard and things are falling through the cracks, kind of thing.
That's always a possibility, which also begs the question: why are they pushing so hard when it's like it's harder for people to spend money on Lego because it's more expensive? It's like, see, it just all of it added up just doesn't make sense. That's kind of what I have an issue with.
Sure.
Yeah. I do feel like the sets are coming out more frequently too.
They are definitely.
And I think that lends to there being more IP and more internal brands than there were previously.
Right.
So
I will say, and I don't get to ask it very often, but one of my favorite, like, I guess, go-to kind of fill the air questions for Lego folk is just, what kind of IP has Lego not done anything with that you would like to see at, like, made as sets?
Centurions from the 80s.
There you go.
There you go.
I've been thinking about that for years, and I want to do that as an ideas set. You take those buildable figures that are like 10 inches tall, and they have just frames that you attach stuff to them.
Right.
It's like the cartoon Centurion. It's just a frame, and then depending on the mission, you get to attach whatever little bit that you need, and a little helmet and everything. And you can have a space station. You can have the girl controlling the space station. There's a robot involved. There's bad guys. You can get one set that has like a handful of bits to put on it. Then you can buy separate sets that are like additional things that you can put on them, like they did
like
the original toy. So yeah, despite the fact that it is a really weirdly unknown cartoon from the 80s, I think that fits with kind of like Lego's idea.
They did do a helicopter, Dusty. They just did one not too long ago. Was it the Coast Guard? No.
Technic.
Yeah. Now, you did say an interesting point, though. You said, well, it doesn't matter if it makes dollars. Problem is, it doesn't make. I mean, like, look at the foosball table. That thing stunk. Like, it didn't make any money. I mean, like, it within a couple weeks, it was discounted by like 30% already, and it was like, whoa.
That was a great set to get faces and hair.
Yes. But, like, most of them, I think, have been duds as far as that stuff goes. Like you were pointing out the women's soccer one, because people didn't, but because you would think, yes, that could be a very cool set.
Well, the way you described, I asked all my soccer friends, and I was like, "Is anybody going to want to get this? If you don't want to get it, I'll get it. I'll get two. I get the points, and then I'll give you one or something like that." And they're like, "All we want is that one figure. That's all we want."
Yeah.
Like, well, you can get that on Bricklink later.
Yeah, and it's like way cheaper. It's like I don't need to buy the whole set just to get one figure.
Yeah.
Right.
But then that figure gets real expensive.
Yeah. Well, that's why you got to do it soon, quickly.
That was sort of my curiosity that I was leading into. I wonder if the designers wanted more like playability, wanted more of those kind of features, more of the things that would quote unquote make them interesting, but how much like white collar like interference ended up happening to prevent them
many
from
production notes.
Yeah.
Well, see, right, yeah, right. That completely makes sense. Yeah.
That happens with, and we were talking about this earlier, the ideas sets, how they get sort of maybe not corporate involvement, but at the very least, the design team's involvement, where they are aware that they're limited to part count and size and weight and playability and things like that. So as much as I would like my dream weird classic 80s cartoon set, it's not going to appeal to anybody, and it's probably overly complicated.
Well, they did Optimus Prime.
Right, but they won't do Megatron.
Yeah,
They can't do Megatron. They can't do G1 classic Megatron.
I think it's hilarious the way they sort of do that sort of thing about guns and stuff. It's like, because like, they're like, well, we do Star Wars because they're blasters. And it's like,
pew, pew.
Yes, but you know what? Those blasters are modeled off of World War II guns. It's like they're made to look like it. So you're not doing anything. They look like guns because they were modeled off after real guns. You're kind of like, it makes no sense. But to them, whatever. Yeah.
and that's the action play in a lot of these sets. Is the Star Wars sets shoot things? They shoot things out of their blasters.
Yes.
That's the play factor. Is shooting.
They're
things.
like, but it's a laser. It's like because it's so much better than a
The laser's still gonna kill a person.
Laser's going.
Also, not
Laser's going to do way more damage, actually.
ignoring the animation I made. There are like slug throwers in the Star Wars universe as well.
Yes, there are. Yeah, you're right.
That's my favorite power up for the heavy. What are the classes in Battlefront? It's heavy.
What?
Officer.
Yeah, officer, support,
support,
recon,
and then
assault?
Assault. Assault. Yeah. Where you get that Vanguard or what's a slug thrower.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. It's such a great sound because it's got like a clink and like a metally ting sound to it.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you are it's like a mortar. It's like
metal. Yeah.
Well, the Mandalorians just being like, these lightsabers can block blaster bolts. Enjoy this buckshot.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, that's a little bit. Yeah, that's a little bit more than I was expecting or could handle. But yeah, that's. What's that?
Ahead.
No, it's okay.
I was just going to agree with Dusty that they could probably sell it for cheaper because it probably doesn't cost them much. What costs is the legal side of it, the safety side of it, licensing. So if they got rid of Harry Potter and Star Wars, they would probably save a lot of money.
Oh, heck yeah. Licensing is awful.
Yeah. So if they just sold their own stuff, the problem is Star Wars sells a lot, and you can sell it to people who aren't Lego fans.
Yep.
Whereas things like Monkey Kid and Dreams, the kid has to kind of already have been buying into the fact that there's Lego.
Right.
Or
at least watching the show.
Yeah, and like if they don't know how to create a story in their head with Dreams because they may not have seen the show, but almost everybody knows who Darth Vader is and who R2-D2 is.
Yeah, I'm right here. See, Darth Vader.
There you go. So they're not
Speaking of Monkey Kid,
anytime soon, but...
it is a fun set to build so far. It's been pretty neat.
Nice. But they actually have not been doing, like, financially, apparently, they've been doing poorly this last little bit.
Yeah.
Who, Lego?
Lego.
Really?
Yep. They've had, this year has not been great for them. So expect and this is after a 25% increase or 15% or whatever it was.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't expect that to be going away.
So prepare for a evaluation of what they're doing, and well, I don't know. See, like I think Lego might be, you know, a lot of these issues and stuff seems to have been this year, which means things that were in development have been over this year because the things that are releasing in 2024 that I've heard about and seen leaked stuff and things for look fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the ornithopter, obviously, the description of the Natural History Museum. I'm so stoked. I want that. I'm going to get it. So like some of the stuff that's been described and stuff, it's like maybe like 2 years ago, I guess, when things were in development, or even, you know, like it was like, you know, they thought this was a good idea based on who knows, you know, variety of factors.
Right.
But they realized, no, we need to stick to the things that we know are going to sell and people are kind of interested in looking for. And which is funny that the ornithopter, I mean, I know the next movie's coming out, March next year?
Yeah, I think the ornithopter is a gamble.
Oh, it is, but I think it's a smart gamble because they knew the new movie was going to be coming out. I mean, like they're not in charge or control of when it does and that it got delayed or anything like that. But it actually works out in their favor, kind of, because it's going to come out after the ornithopter comes out. It's like, hey, I got my ornithopter. Look, there's the movie. Yay! But I think it was a smart gamble, and that's what they need to do more of. I think Optimus was a smart gamble. I think this was kind of a neat one for me. like, because I did, I built the DeLorean, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, I would love them to do the train, like from Back to the Future 3,
Yeah.
or like a clock
That's
tower
true.
diorama with like
At 3 or
the
4 times the size of the DeLorean. It would be a huge set.
well, no, you do. I mean, like it wouldn't be the scale that that DeLorean
Right.
came out with, because they're doing it for the detail. But if you could do it, that could go on a regular train track and stuff, and you could like have it pick up and be like, all right, let's fold everything down and it can fly. That would be
Yeah.
amazing. But the interesting thing is the Natural History Museum, the way they described it was, the front looks like the clock tower from Back to the Future, like the same kind of like the stairway coming down, and it's going to have like 2 sides that are like little like garden-y type areas and stuff like that. And I'm like,
Mhm.
well, it's weird that they described it that way.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, like that could easily lead into speculation or something else. So
Somehow they build the rest of the square, but call each building something different.
yeah, exactly.
It's a movie house.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What's that homeless guy sleeping on that bench? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, what's his name? Shoot.
Bill.
Was it Bill? Yeah.
Phil.
That's it. Yeah.
Phil,
Phil.
you look great.
Phil, you look great. Everything looks so great. I've still got time. Nope, you never have enough time. Lego sets with Happy Meals again would be a great idea. I would buy Happy Meals if they did that.
All right, Johnny, I want you to pause. This conversation we just had is why they made the DeLorean. We get so excited about it.
Yeah.
We know all the words.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they know that they're pitching to a certain group of people who have some income to buy the DeLorean or buy the Atari or buy the Nintendo or buy the Pac-Man cabinet. But it's that's not. While I think those things are good for them, Lego sets with Happy Meals, perfect. A 5-piece giant chunky Duplo things or something.
Yep.
I don't think that is financially stable for them. I think they can do those things because they're selling Dream sets or Monkey Kid sets or smaller sets that move a lot more and that are $20-$30 that you can get for a kid's birthday party, versus not as many people are going to buy the Pac-Man cabinet because it's $300.
Oh, I agree there. Yeah, and you definitely have to pick and choose as far as that goes. But that again, the Ornithopter is a good example of that's not going to hit everybody. I mean, like I'm not a big Dune fan, but I would because of how cool it is, I would buy that. And I've never bought a modular, but the way the Natural History Museum sounds, I want to buy it. You know what I mean?
I've never either, and it's exactly the same thought.
So it's those risks that they take or gambles that they take sometimes. And of course, they gambled on something like, hey, the women's soccer thing, but they were in the news a lot, and I think that's one of the reasons why they did that. Like there was a whole
they knew that the World Cup too was going to be this year, and so they probably planned it years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
But that
I
obviously
will be right back.
Okay. I think they overestimated the fan base for women's soccer.
Absolutely. They had to have.
Which just feels like anytime I watch and I don't mean to disparage fans of other sports, but anytime I read any comments on Instagram or something like that, when it's featuring women's soccer players, it's just heartbreaking that there are people out there like that. But
I agree. Yeah.
That they're just, it's. I get really sad when I see that kind of stuff, especially when it comes to a kid's toy. When you get people bad mouthing it because they don't like Megan Rapinoe, it's like, okay, but it's a child's toy and it's supposed to encourage a lot of little kids to be the best person they can be and go out and encourage them to play sports or join a club or kind of do that thing. Let's not get your political distaste in the mix, but that shows
right.
up.
But that the other thing is you can't completely ignore those things either, especially when it's out there. And it's like, well, it's like especially when someone makes it such an issue, and it's just like, yeah, because it's a balance type thing and stuff. And I wish more people would, that do like sports and things like that would just stay out of politics and just be like, do your sport. That's what you're being paid for. Just do
Right.
the thing you're being paid for. If you want to do, that stuff outside of it, just don't mesh the two, and that'll make things a whole lot better.
If they got paid the same, maybe it wouldn't be a problem. Notice there isn't a WNBA Lego set. There also isn't a lot of hockey. Also, why is there no NASCAR? NASCAR would be a huge thing.
There's a NASCAR. Is it a Technic? It's not a Speed Champions. I just saw it on a shelf at Walmart. My Walmart. They have a NASCAR car.
Wow.
I need to look this up now. Hold on a second.
It's presented by Tide and Enterprise Car Rental, and it's got 150 stickers on it.
No, what was it?
150 sponsors on it.
Oh wow, I haven't opened that tab in forever. It's like all my explosions. All right, so let's see.
Oh,
but you're right. And Lego NASCAR. Oh, there it is, right there. That was quick. Like I typed in Lego NASCAR, and there it is. It's a $40 Technic NASCAR Next Gen Chevrolet Camaro. It actually looks fantastic.
See, they need to hire me. I would have told them right off the bat, that's a dumb thing to do.
It looks really good, though.
You could have an entire series of NASCAR cars, like Speed Champions.
Yes.
You could have every racer has their own specialized car. Just like they tried to do with the soccer players. It's like you could have your own minifig of whatever current racer is doing well. Look at that. Dark tan 2x3.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But they won't. They do one singular giant Technic thing, and you're immediately limiting your fan base when you're making a Technic set. Like immediately.
I agree. It does look really good for a Technic set, though, because they actually cover things very well.
Yeah.
And they actually have moving pistons for the engine, which is cool. That's nice. I like when they do that sort of thing. Actually, a really interesting technique as to how they did that. That's cool. And it's 20% off. It's like $40.
How much is it?
It's $40.
A Technic set.
Yes.
That's really weird.
That's impressive, actually.
It's
like
600.
That Technic helicopter is what?
Yeah.
150 something.
672 pieces for.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah, it's not the most pieces, but actually, if you look at it, for 672 pieces and the coverings they have, it actually has some decently sized pieces in order to cover over the technique-y looking stuff. And like I said, it actually looks pretty good.
Sure.
NASCAR is chiefly a U.S. sport. Agreed. You could also have Formula One. You could also have those rally car races. Those are not.
They do have Formula One cars now and then, and they are Technic. They've had the McLaren. They've had they've had a couple F1 cars, and I think they're coming out with one this coming year too.
Yeah, I have what is it? The Euro. The hell are they called? Le Mans. I have a Le Mans 24-hour car next to me right now.
That's a Speed Champions, right?
I don't know actually. I think no, it's a Technic.
Okay. I know there's one that is.
Yeah, 42039 for those curious.
I know there's a Le Mans Speed Champion set too. There's a 24-hour Le Mans Speed Champion set.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. Ooh, that is a cool looking tank. I like that thing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I'm not a huge fan of. I'm going to badmouth a little bit. It's cool.
Let's analyze.
It's bouncy. It's got neat little legs. It's got legs that don't move.
Oh, that's dumb.
So they move because there's a rubber gasket in here.
Oh.
They move like this.
Nice call.
Sure.
Okay.
Like that. So they don't. You can't pose it.
That's really bouncy, though. I kind of like that part.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't like that they don't kind of. You can't really do it. They're wiggly. It's not really posing. It also has these fixed joints. So this is the only. This is as much That's okay, but you can't like lower it. And
They
get lower to
coulda-
the ground.
Done that so
Oh.
much better.
So it looks like he's got sad little claws
Yeah.
now. He's like, oh, hello. What's up?
He's like a
Um,
T-Rex. A big
yeah.
head, tiny arms.
Big head. Whatever
His mandibles
reason,
don't
the-
move in.
The mandibles don't close. The seat opens up to reveal nothing. There's no little. This is the biggest problem I had. And I saw this when people were talking about it. There's no little spider guy to go in here. There's no one-eyed little critter to go in here, which is what's supposed to go in there.
This is a good example of what I was talking about. Is there's so much they could have done with that would not have taken much to kind of not even re-engineer. You don't have to re-engineer that much. Just adjust a few things.
So there's a giant space in there.
Yeah.
For nothing. Are we supposed to put like Mando in there or something?
Oh man,
There's
that full.
nothing in
Oh,
there.
jeez.
There's nothing in there. And it's got stud shooters, which nobody asked for. Nobody ever asked for stud shooters.
No.
So it looks cool.
It does.
It's got some good pieces overall. It's got like these underside reverse slopes. It's got surprising number of Technic pieces. Got these droid heads. I like these droid heads.
Mm-hmm.
It looks cool. I guess it's worth. I think it was $50.
It's sad how half-assed that is, though.
Yeah.
That's oh man.
So, not super happy with like, because I really wanted the little guy to pop out and be like, I was finishing it up. And I'm like, there's no like little critter in here.
See, that's my problem with the Venerator, with the UCS Venerator. As cool as it looks as a model piece, and it is cool as a model piece, like they did with the tiny Venerator. That's like, hey, we can give you an interior. They could have done an interior, and I know they were going for the rigidity. There was a little bit more the structure they had to do because it's not just a triangle. It kind of goes in, then back out, and blah blah blah. They could have done that.
There's still the big flaps on the front they could have done. There's still because the whole center of that is a hangar. They could have had little bitty ships in there.
And it doesn't like they did that with the little one where just that middle red part just opens up, and stuff like it's like something just that simple is all it's required, and you get 2 bitty figs. What the heck?
Yeah.
As Ben dies on camera.
Well, it was a good run.
Some of those
Right.
cops, I get lightheaded.
Yeah,
It's not good.
see, that's the other thing too. They are not figures that people don't already have for one reason or another. It's like
everybody's got a Bo-Katan and a Mando.
Yep.
We've all got Grogu.
oh yeah.
So yeah, I was excited about it, and that's why I pre-ordered it. But it's
disappointing.
a little sad.
And that, someone somewhere is going to, like they did with the Hulkbuster. Someone somewhere is going to be like, I can make this better, and they will, and it won't be that much more to do. 'Cause obviously, you're going to need some different pieces because there's no way you can get the claws and everything. You're going to need like the actual hinges or something like that. But
you'll need click hinges in here for the knees and stuff.
But that's they were so close with that.
There's a lot of work going on to make sure that the legs are angled out.
Right.
And there's a lot of work going on to make sure that they're springy with these gaskets, with these rubber gaskets in here.
And that's fantastic, yeah.
But it makes a sort of satisfying noise, I guess.
The spidery, the skitter sound.
Yeah, skittery sound. That's kind of fun. But I don't buy a $50 Lego set so I can make a skittery sound.
On his back.
These pieces are rad. I will absolutely get a bunch of those. These half moon crescent.
Oh yeah.
Those are really nice.
I have bigger ones of those, like from some of the
like big old dark green ones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
These tubes are nice. I'll probably take these off before they get too bent out of shape. Yeah, it's all right. not
It
bad.
looks good. It really looks
It
good.
does look neat. Like that's intimidating. That
Yes.
front face thing.
The functionality is not what it should be.
Which is weird because I would think functionality would be the playability part of it, but if it's not, then it's not.
Yep. So this is just a helmet, but it looks good. I like
Oh yeah,
how it turns
let's see
out.
this. Are you all finished? Is that all done?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Nice.
So it's the Scout Trooper helmet, and it does look very. I mean, like the way they do the curvatures and things of stuff. Though I have to say these decals were annoying, but you know what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But like, again,
That is
attention
nice.
to detail is so good. It is kind of funny though that I find that like they did so much smooth and like rounded stuff, and then they're like, helmet, we won't make it rounded. We'll do Lego brickish rounded, but you know, I mean, it's good. This comes out really good too. Like this is, I always thought this would be a very difficult part to do.
Yeah, that's fun. The angles look good.
Mm-hmm.
It's instantly recognizable. I like the space in between where the white piece comes together around the gray piece, where there's like a little gap.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. It's like
I
they're
wonder
two
if you could-
separate pieces.
Buy the set at a discount and then cover the cost with the figs. You might be able to. I don't know how often. I don't know if there's any difference between this Bo-Katan and another Bo-Katan. Maybe her face somehow. I don't think this Mando's got a face in this one. He's not just a black head. So who knows?
That's
You
always-
might be able to. I don't know that you'll get, $15 for the two of these maybe, and this is a $50 set. So yeah, if you got it used for $20-25, you might get close.
I've actually seen it used on Marketplace for like $25.
Yeah, I think this one instantly like they. I wonder if they knew it was like not an awesome set, so they made everybody pre-order it, just so they could get the numbers up, and then everybody bought it and went, "Stupid.
You suck, Lego! You did it again."
This is gonna go on my shelf of instantly take apartable sets over here.
You mean pieces?
Yeah, this becomes pieces. With my E-wing and my Shin Hotties fighter. Actually, the E-wing might stay together for a little bit.
I was gonna say the E-wing's kind of a cool ship.
E-wing's pretty cool. I would have done it differently. I really like the IKEA droid. That's my favorite part of it. The IKEA droid. It's my favorite part.
He is awesome. He will live forever.
Yeah, his call letters seem to be IKEA.
Wait, it would be 1K3A.
3A? Yeah, it
Yeah.
just looks like IKEA.
Yep.
But again, this is one of those things where they may not have been an extended universe. My brain wants to say three things at once. They're
Expanded
not an
universe.
EU, they're not a Legends fan, knowing
Right.
that there's a giant cannon that sticks over the top of this. So but in the show it doesn't. That's just
Right.
They couldn't well, that doesn't make any sense. How do you open the canopy if there's a cannon in the way? It's like, well, you move the cannon.
It lifts up. It's like there are ways to figure that out.
Right. Like if the cat is in front of my door, I don't just kill the cat. I move the cat.
I find it amazing. Well, I mean, some people might, but like I find it irks me beyond to no end where they're like, where Disney came in, and they're like, yeah, expanded universe is gone. We have all these stories, we have all this, stuff set up and things in different ways. It's all gone, and then they're slowly pulling pieces. Like they're just,
Yeah.
we want this piece. Hey, you guys like this, right?
Right.
Come look, and it's like, yeah, no.
In 5 years, we're going to get a movie about Mara Jade, and they're going to be like, this new character, Mara Jade, and everyone's going to be like, oh, whatever.
It's because
Remember, like-
Disney wanted them to pay a shitload of authors.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, what? I didn't say anything.
Whoa. So Bo in that set is going for $20. Interesting.
Really?
Already?
Huh.
That's kind of interesting.
Huh.
Is that on Bricklink? Where's
Let's
that?
look.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. As the Emperor would say.
Um,
Or What do Yoda? Do it. Hmm?
Do it, I say.
Or it do.
Not add a source. Share screen. That's what I want.
I do love the one from episode 2 where Yoda asks the clone commander to, like, you know, concentrate all fire on the trade union ships.
Yeah.
The clone
Really?
just
Thanks,
looks
buddy.
binoculars like, did you just talk normally?
Yeah.
Big fire.
Also, the most obvious thing in warfare: shoot at the big ship. Oh, really? Thanks, General.
Really, thanks.
Yeah, some of that stuff just, you know, it was obvious that, like, they just threw it in there, even though, like, it was happening.
Yeah.
Concentrate
Wow.
fire, you must. Really, is it?
Yeah. Oh, you know why? Because this other one doesn't have hair.
Oh, so it's a more complete, so to speak.
So weird. They just give her the helmet. So this one, that's why. So this one's from the spider set. So yeah, this one's got hair, so it's $20. Yeah, that'd cover the cost of it.
It'd be interesting to
used one.
see if, and this does tend to happen. Like, I noticed this with, like, a couple sets over the recent year. Like, they'll be like, hey, I have this used. You can have it used, but there are no figures with it. Why? Because they're holding on to them to sell them. And
Yep.
that does happen quite a lot now.
Almost always.
Yep.
And this one's $5, so $25. Buy the set, $25 pop.
Yep.
That means that they knew that this figure was going to be a lot,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why the set was $50. Or I think $50 may have been more.
How many pieces are in it?
500. So it had to be
Okay,
more than
so it's
50
about-
pieces.
Kind of average.
526.
Hmm.
And then what was the the RRRP on it?
Yes, you could.
You could order a bunch of those discounted and get free parts. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's kind of like, in some cases, I want to get, like, I'm not a huge figure collector.
Right.
So I just want to get a set to build it.
Right.
I'm constantly looking for, like, it's open. I've kept the figures. I've just, it's just the parts. I'm like, sweet.
Right.
80% of what you bought for it.
Go look, since you got it up, go look at the NASCAR set, the Lego NASCAR.
Oh, yeah. I want to see what this retailed for, 'cause I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, caps on it.
Other tank.
Oh, $50. So it's actually
Yeah.
for a Star Wars set, right on the money,
Mm-hmm.
which is odd. NASCAR.
Hi, handsome.
There it
Yeah.
is.
Oh yeah, that's actually now. See, okay, perfect. This
See?
is the perfect size because this is what $50. This would be the perfect size to do maybe like a series of these.
Yes, it would. And
Or
maybe
you
that's what
could
they're
even
starting.
You could even do Speed Champions, but do NASCAR Speed Champion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the
Yeah.
exact same model with a handful of different stickers, but each minifigure, you get a minifigure with it, and it's a different driver. It's a
Yeah.
different team. It just, I don't know
And
why.
maybe that's what they're trying. Is they're like, because if you look at it, look at the engine, that middle one. It's kind of neat how they have that done.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it is pretty cool. Dusty was saying earlier, too, that it's NASCAR is a U.S. sport, so that's probably why it's not like a huge thing for them to push out. But Formula One, that's,
Mhm.
that's worldwide. You
Yep.
can do Formula One the same way. Do little Speed Champion Formula One racers. The Monaco series. We've got a COTA one here, Circuit of the Americas in Austin. Just do a bunch of those different ones.
But that's a very nice set, though. I mean, like the covering that they're
Pretty
doing.
good.
Yeah, the covering they've done as like I said, some of those panels and stuff are not small. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
Like, and so for $50 for what? How many pieces was it? 600. What was it?
7,000.
672 pieces. That's.
Yep.
I mean, and obviously some of them are
That's
the
a-
little.
It's a pretty good price though. But yeah,
Yeah.
you get pins and things.
Nice size tires.
The only thing I don't like is the stickers, obviously, but that's the only way you get away with doing the same model but different sponsors and things like that. You're just not going to be able to get away with anything.
That's
else.
cool. That's cool. Look at that. The wheel on the back is how you turn the wheels in the front. I like that.
Uh-huh.
I like when they do that.
A car that size, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a pretty good one. I'm not a car person. I will never buy this, but this is actually
what's that show on the back?
Pretty
on
good
the box.
Set.
Oh, it just details
It's
the things.
big, yeah. So each of these Technic bits, there's not really any new ones in here. Like I've seen a lot of these around, so they're not new Technic pieces. This piece has been around forever. These pieces have been around forever. These like wings kind of thing.
Yeah, I have a bunch of this.
This is kind of new. This like wishbone, not wishbone, but like half circle, and then it's going to have these Technic pins things on either side, but those are pretty good. And you can use a lot of these to make a lot of people will use these in kind of sculpture-y things to make humanoid looking figures, so you could reuse these a little bit as long as the stickers weren't put on fairly new. I found it funny to buy Wicket new, it was $10, but to buy the parts new, it's closer to $5.
That is kind of funny.
Yeah, if you buy all the parts for the figure, it's like, okay. So, did you guys see last thing? Did you guys see the Galileo?
Yes.
The Galileo or Da Vinci gift with purchase?
Galileo, yeah.
Galileo.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna. Wonder how long until somebody builds a prison for him to spend the rest of his life in. And the church
all
saying,
geniuses.
no, heretic, you know.
Yeah. All geniuses end up in prison, whether it's their own making or.
Ending it on a deep note. Well done. Do we know what the cost for is it like 200, 150 to get it?
I'm trying to remember what I heard. I think it was the 100-ish cost for it. But they have the Steamboat Willie one coming out too. That's for like buying anything for 150, I think.
Is the Galileo one specifically if you buy something a kind of set?
I don't think so. I think they're in different months or whatever. I forget where I saw that.
Should be in here. Here we go.
Tribute to Galileo.
130. That's actually not too bad.
Yeah.
I might.
And that's a decent sized set, right? How many pieces?
Man, I just pre-ordered the frickin' Dune thing from Target. That was my spend.
What month is this one?
This is now. This is November 1st through the 16th. So
okay.
The other thing that stinks about this is I don't think there's a double VIP points going on during this time, and A-Fall Day isn't until December.
Yeah,
but,
look to the right at the Steamboat Willie one. I'm curious
Steamboat
how much.
Willie.
Yeah, that one's supposed to be a lot of pieces too.
$150. 400 pieces. Ah, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all black and white, but still, you get some good max cylinders or max size cylinders.
Those things all move too.
They twist.
I think they go up and down. I can't remember. Like the original one, like it's supposed to operate very similar to how the original did.
Yeah. Trying to see if there's these boat pieces in here look like they'd be pretty cool. The Mickey figure itself is going to be $1 billion.
Yes, he is awesome.
Cool. All right. We didn't talk about Animal Crossing. I knew there was one other thing.
I don't know anything about it, so.
Yeah. I don't either.
I love Animal Crossing. I was intrigued, to say the least, when I saw the announcement trailer. Because it definitely, I don't know, it's a chill game, and I really enjoy it for that. I'm not sure how well it's going to lend itself to, like, Lego.
I think it looks like a lot of it's going to be in the whimsy of the figures.
Yes.
And kind of the buildability of like your little house and whatever, but
I
I
wonder.
see this being about the same as like a video where it's some cool figures,
Mhm.
but the sets are like,
Sure.
Yeah,
there's a
I
lot
agree.
in here.
Mhm. They're not cheap though.
I'm sure they had to pay. This is another Nintendo license.
Well, they're
Yep.
getting rid of Mario, so I mean, this is the new Mario, so essentially.
Yeah,
And the-
I hope
and the
they get rid of
figures-
Sonic and do Metroid next because I'm a little tired of Metroid and Sonic. But
Have you seen the new Sonic figures though?
nope.
I wonder if they have them there. Like they've shown pictures of Knuckles, Shadow, and I forget the girl's name. And
Amy.
their oh, they look so good.
I think I have seen those. Let me see if I can find them.
Fabuland 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right though. It is very Fabuland. But I mean, like at least we get the Piranha Plant before they're done with.
Oh, I think I might get the Piranha Plant too.
Oh, I'm getting 2 of those. Bowser needs to hold 2. So. See, those are
No. These is that newish?
no, that
August.
one's out already.
August.
No, these are the new figures that are coming. So maybe they don't have pictures for them yet.
Yeah, there's some not yet been released.
Yeah, that's Knuckles. Yeah,
These
that's
are-
going to be one of them.
Ziploc polybag. Yeah.
Yeah, the Knuckles mech battle is the one where they explicitly said that's the one where he is, and he looks like a cool figure, and then he's got really big hands. Like they made his hands like big, and
Right.
Which looks cool.
Nice.
I would love Metroid. That would be so fantastic.
I don't know what they do because it's like Samus, a bunch of pterodactyl looking things that are called pirates. I don't know how people are going to square that. Her ship, some
You could do Mega Kraid from Super Metroid.
you could.
I mean, Mother
You could do
Brain
a
would
bunch
be
of little
fun.
Metroids. I think the Metroids themselves would be great pieces where you could have like the trans domes with like little Travis bricks with
Oh
like
yeah.
dots inside it, and then like the little barbs and tentacles underneath.
Mhm.
Mother Brain, just a bunch of like weird levels where you discover things.
Well,
It'd be
see,
fun.
that's the cool thing. See, with what they did with Mario, and I'm not a big fan of the Mario sets themselves and stuff like that because I just don't play with them. They obviously did it decently well, but you could do something similar to that and do Metroid levels easily, I think.
Mhm.
And
Make it
and
slightly creepier, but have that same sort of section connected to section kind of thing.
oh yeah, and you could easily make it even more connectable and be like, hey, this goes here with the elevator and blah blah blah, blah, and there you go.
Yep,
It would be
Yep.
it would be cool.
it would be. Gentlemen, this was fun. Thank you for hanging out.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
I will
love it.
Sorry we didn't get to see the bear paws or anything.
I
thank you.
know.
It's all good.
It's all good. We'll see him eventually. And
It's all
Johnny,
good.
thank
I
you.
forgive you.
Oh,
Johnny,
it's our
thank you
fault.
for
I see.
persevering with that neck piece. I saw you like doing this like
Yeah,
almost
a
the
couple
entire
times, but
time.
it worked.
Yeah. I think I'll be back Sunday. I don't know doing what yet, but and then you said you're going to be out next week.
No, when Tuesday I will not. It's my normal stream on Tuesday. I will not be doing because I'll be this. So I'll be
Right,
dressed
yeah.
up and
Tuesday
handing
will
out
be
candy.
Halloween, so yeah.
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 So Wednesday is my stream next week, same time, and I'll be kind of challenging myself with 2. Hold on. Since it'll be my Halloween stream essentially, I'll be challenging myself with 2 builds, and I'll tell everyone what the challenging part is when we get to it.
Nice.
There you go.
So yeah,
Yeah.
tune in everybody Wednesday to Johnny builds. I don't know if Vab's going to do anything because he normally does stuff Wednesday, so you guys have to duel that out.
No, he's changed to Saturdays, but he's
Oh, okay.
kind of taking a little bit of a break right now. Just keep him in your thoughts because he's just going through a rough patch right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, take care. Have a good Halloween. Be safe. Be
Happy
sneaky.
Halloween!
Eat lots
Happy
of candy.
Halloween,
Make
all.
sure there's poison in your candy and razor blades
Yeah.
in your raisins.
Oh,
And I will talk to you all later.